Top story, a nation concerned that Republicans would ignore a global calamity and instead investigate the Bidens for crimes real and imagined can rest easy tonight knowing their concerns are actually spot on. House Republicans are focusing on how Biden mishandled classified documents and why the feds didn't conduct a bin Laden-style raid on his Abbottabad, Delaware compound. That's according to House Oversight Chairman and baby food jar baby all grown up, James Comer.
Why was Mar-a-Lago raided, but the president's home not? Why are the president's lawyers still allowed to go rummage through looking for documents after a special counsel has been appointed? It doesn't make sense. It's not fair.
Comer there channeling everyday Americans frustrated that different things elicit different responses. Joining the chorus of anti-participation trophy Republicans whining about fairness was President Trump, who took a break from his rigorous campaign schedule of shuffling peas around his plate to post on Truth Social, which after months of research we believe is something on the internet. Mar-a-Lago is a highly secured facility with security cameras all over the place and watched over by staff in our great Secret Service. I have info on everyone. That's right, Mar-a-Lago famously runs an intense background check, requiring every guest to name one difference between their back and the ground. Joining me now to lodge our fingers into the bowling ball of truth, chuck it down the slippery lane of analysis, and hit a perfect news strike before realizing we tore our scrupula is Democratic strategist who dresses a tray of chicken piccata to sneak into Barbara Walters' funeral, Lydia Parker.
Good evening.
Chief Washington Bureau Chief who somehow got in a group chat with a dozen Greyhound bus drivers, Jonathan Keene.
Hello.
Chief Field Correspondent who was out all last week because his gerbil had babies, James Smartwood Jr.
Hi.
And PBS Firing Line host and tuning out the news contributor who has never encountered a human being wearing sweatpants, Margaret Hoover. Thank you for being here, Margaret.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Margaret, the House Oversight Committee leading these investigations will include paragons of discernment and virtue like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Paul Gosar. Are these hearings a political winner, or could it backfire when hundreds of C-SPAN viewers call an ambulance because Paul Gosar looks deeply unwell?
The American public can see the difference between apples and oranges. They can see the difference between the documents investigation in Mar-a-Lago and the documents investigation of Joe Biden. In both cases, classified documents belong nowhere in private persons' hands. But they have been handled very, very differently and with different degrees of honesty and transparency, frankly, by each president.
Now, I have to agree with Margaret. If your entire agenda is big show trials, have some fun with it. I'd love to see Jim Jordan interrogate Merrick Garland while hanging from aerial silks.
You know, Democrats shouldn't worry about this document scandal, considering Biden is extremely good at articulating incisive counter-arguments, assuming it's telling a mouthy union worker to get bent.
Now let's move on to a new report on Republican congressman who during congressional roll call yells out present after every name just to be safe, George Santos. The Washington Post says he has deep ties to a businessman named Andrew Trader who is the cousin of a sanctioned Russian oligarch. The evidence suggests Santos may have had a business relationship with Trader as Santos was first entering politics in 2020. It also shows that Trader put hundreds of thousands of dollars into Santos's one-time employer, Harbor City, which was accused by regulators of running a Ponzi scheme. Santos, being a potential Russian asset, is obviously a huge liability if he does not enjoy being revered as a god by Republicans. Now, Margaret, House leadership is refusing to take action against George Santos, even giving him committee assignments. Republicans protecting violent insurrectionists who soiled the House chamber is one thing, but a liar?
Pretty remarkable. Look, George Santos should resign. The House leadership should take him off committees, not give him any responsibility, and frankly, there should be a special election for that seat. What's quite interesting about these reports is that finally we're starting to get some color on why his self-worth has doubled, tripled, quadrupled, changed by orders of magnitude in the last 2 years.
George Santos is learning that you don't waltz into Congress with some oligarch's dirty money. You cartwheel in with Peter Thiel's dirty money.
George Santos winning his election using a barely scrutinized false biography exposes serious media shortcomings. To hold ourselves to account, let's go to James Smartwood Jr., who tuning out the news embedded with the Santos campaign leading up to the election. Junior, why do you think you in the news media missed this story?
Well, with media companies squeezing their budgets, I didn't have the resources to conduct true investigative journalism, so instead I just repeat what Allison Camerata said yesterday.
Oh, we love Camerata.
For sure.
So, Keen, what's the solution here?
The solution is accountability, and that's why I am replacing myself on this panel with a different guy.
Who is that guy?
Which one?
The guy standing over there who looks like he's never worn shoes before?
Oh, him. That's my replacement, the newest member of the big news panel.
Okay, you don't get to do that. This is my show.
Sure, but this is my chair, and that is my guy.
Jesus, does he talk?
It is my understanding that he does talk.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Margaret, jump in here. Isn't the election of George Santos just a symptom of a much larger systemic failure of our institutions?
You know, you could call it that, but the truth is...
You're a jerk. You know that, right?
No, I'm not. No. I'm not a jerk.
Yes, you are.
And you're making me look bad in front of the guy.
I don't care what the guy thinks, okay?
Well, he's going to be in your house, so you should care.
He's not moving in. I will move before
I told him you were cool with it.
I don't care. I can go back on my word. It's not a big deal. I never gave my word.
I wouldn't go back on my word with a guy.
Oh, great. He's violent? Oh, for sure, Margaret. I agree. You're going to buy me some armor.
Okay. All right. I've got a guy.
All right, we got a deal.
It's not that guy, is it?
Counter wisdom in New York.
It's not that guy, is it?
It is that guy, yes.
The Democrat was going to win this
damn it.
seat, and
He's a blacksmith.
I don't want the guy who's coming after me to be the same guy who protects me. You understand that, right?
Well, he's bringing his anvil, so he'll make it for you there.
Wait, so he has like a split personality thing? Like he's two guys?
Oh, no, it's just the one guy. One is sort of rounding up, if you know what I mean.
Hold on here. The guy is gone. Does anyone know where the guy went?
I'll tell you where he didn't go. Out of this building.
All right, Junior, get back here and start rooting around the ventilation ducts.
Oh, great. I love ducks.